paper like? Take notes? You have paper, take notes?
Could you give me some of your stuff? Maybe a girl.
Somebody else? All right, call this meeting order, we'll stand and pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation, under God, indivisible. We call, Daryl's on vacation. We got the minutes of the February 13th, 2023 board meeting. You read through them. Need a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. February 13th.
I'll make the motion. I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the minutes of the February 27th, 2023 special board meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the special meeting minutes.
The second,
Second it.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the treasury's report. Treasury report is we have $40,000 in a CD at Crossbridge. Interest rate of that is 0.35%. So for a 12-year maturity date is September 18th of this year. Money market is a balance of $402,044. The interest rate of 0.25%. The checking account has $1,008,294.75. The interest rate of 0.5%. Our ARPA local recovery funds, that balance is $301,789.10. With an ending balance of, as of February 28th, 2023, of $883,760.18. Is there any questions on the treasury report?
I'll make a motion to approve the treasury report.
Need a second? Second.
Second.
I don't have time.
Sorry?
I don't have time to look at the. You can take shorthand. You can take shorthand.
Yeah.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the approval of the vouchers from check number 22469 to 22565. Need a motion to accept. Vouchers.
Make a motion to accept voucher.
Second.
Second to accept the vouchers.
All in favor of that motion? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is the approve of the tax vouchers, which we do not have at this time. So we're gonna have to carry that over to the next meeting. We are, to the audience, we are currently have an interim treasurer and just learning the system, and he had evidently missed them, so we will have them. Let's see. All in favor of that motion, or not motion, but that thought, is that okay?
I just read tax vouchers.
Yeah, lay over till April. Maybe.
Old business. Or just-
No, just put on their list, yeah. We'll have March and April together. Next on the agenda is old business, discuss roads, road maintenance. Just had a couple of calls about our roads getting closed in with the snowbanks getting high. So I don't know if the truck will be able to do it, but there's a couple of roads that are getting pretty knocked down. One is Patriot Lane that I had a concern on. Maybe, I don't know if the grader or maybe the truck will do it. I have no idea.
With the grader.
Grader. You're gonna like really knock it down like that.
So we're gonna have to get that out,
We have to
push some
push
things
this.
back.
Yeah, that has to be done before. No.
So we're gonna try to get that taken care of here in the near future before we get any rain and it freezes again. So. I don't know if there's a much familiar with that grader operation.
No,
No.
it's either
Mark
Mark or Cutler.
So we'll have to try to get that scheduled.
Gotta get, road limit signs up too.
That's coming on Wednesday. Yep. Make sure he's aware of that. I think he had talked to Mark and Ryan both,
Good.
to help with that process. So
I mean,
that was already
does
last
it
week.
sound like they're gonna be busy Thursday and Friday?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes them to do that.
To push the roads back or to
No,
put their signs on. Last year it took approximately, I think, 1 day with 3 guys.
Yeah, one day.
On that. Next, on old business, discuss equipment maintenance. I just made a copy of what we picked the truck up from OCD. So we'd get it here before the snow came. But they sent this along, so I thought I'd make copies of it for everybody to look through. But that's for something for the board to say on the future, what they want to do. My thought is to get it fixed and
I think that's a no-brainer, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go through OCD because they've been there for us at every waking moment.
well, they've done things that over the, how do you say it, the course of a year that when we need something did it. It was
Yeah.
timely.
Yeah, they got it in right away and helped us, so.
So,
Did we get the sand out of that?
yeah, everything's got to be stripped off. It's all underbody. not that anybody that wing. They had to clean up and take that. I'm sorry?
And
What's the lead time on it?
Oh, they didn't even,
Not that far yet.
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Well, at least in January, or November, when we really might, we're coming out of winter.
Right, but yeah,
Someday.
it wouldn't even go in the shop yet.
And I did talk to Pine River and they would be willing to send a truck over to help us if we need help.
Well, now was the other thought is I was gonna talk to the county level as well of,
I talked to Jason too. He said he would be willing to send a truck over when they're all done.
okay, if we need help.
Yeah, so we would technically have two trucks.
Because we could have, maybe should have another truck out with this last snow.
Yeah, we're gonna buy, but
Yeah,
We got-
it was.
it's not good, but
No.
everybody's trying their best.
Anyways, all right.
We need to make a motion to all approve and prepare.
I think what we'll do is just get some numbers. And go from there. And there's got to be more diagnostic stuff done, but there again,
We just gotta,
we gotta get it down there and without the equipment on it, you can't.
all right.
We'll leave that on the whole business. Next on old business, discuss approved Prairie Road and Airport Road projects. I don't know if you guys had a chance to talk to anybody from the county on that, or what the thoughts are, but you know, if the county is not gonna do it, you need to have an engineer come in and engineer that road so we get some estimates. I guess. You know, the beauty thing about the county is they can provide a lot of the engineering and grant.
The first thing I'm gonna do is get that end turnaround engine.
Whatever.
Right.
County didn't want to do that, so. we really
No, they can't. They can't do that. But I guess the big thing is, the county doesn't want to do all the legwork. Legwork is understandable about contacting MSA Engineering to do a small leg of it and not get the work, I guess. And the county has a strong working relationship with that engineering firm, so they normally don't take jobs that small of any kind. So it's gonna be tough to get an engineering firm to do anything without the county's help. So,
I mean, there is one engineering company that I'm familiar with that does do smaller jobs.
and what's their name?
Becker Hoppy.
Okay, and then where are they from?
Wausau.
They are, okay. So I can contact them. You know who to talk to there?
I have to call my old boss and try and get some numbers. I can't remember.
Because in order for the board has to get estimates, or they're gonna bid it out, but they need to have the whole thing done. And for all the approaches on the drives, I mean, that's all gotta be included.
And Becker Hoppy, they do their own engineering, they do testing, they do everything and all that, so.
Becker Hoppy works with the airport over here all the time. I
Okay.
know they're in and out of the airport over there quite frequently, so might be able to piggyback on this if they're.
Okay. Thanks, Larry.
All right, we'll leave that in old business. Next is, new business is discuss, approve, placement lawn care out for bid. So we'd like to get that in the paper next week so we could have it for the April meeting, so, we could, get going on that, so, we'll be cutting grass, I'm sure. So what do you think? Any questions on, or any thoughts?
This is to get bids out for it?
Right, and I mean, to have somebody like, last year Double D did it, I guess there were several other bids that were put in, so I mean, it did save the township some money, and it's probably a fair way to do it for contractors to, I guess I need a motion to approve that, so I get that paper. add in the paper.
I'll make a motion to add the paper for the lawn care. Bid. For 2023.
Second on that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now I'll get that in the paper for next week. I'm just gonna probably run it for 1 week. And see what we come up with. Next on the agenda is discuss the separation, the split of the clerk treasurer position. For people that weren't aware, our clerk treasurer had resigned, and at this point, we think it's more feasible and practical for the township to separate that, but we need the electors' vote for that, so all we are is discussing that this evening, hoping we have a good turnout at the annual meeting for people to vote on this. We do need that elector vote to separate that. Is there any questions to the audience, I guess?
Are you having difficulty finding people who are interested in that amount of workload as one job or what?
Well, yes, we are. The clerk, man, we found an interim treasurer and he's just learning the ropes. But it's the clerk position that runs the elections, take care of the office. And there again, that checks and balances, that eliminates audit to have the township, and that's, I think last year it was 7,000. So that's stayed on that, but there again, it's just a difficult position. I called every surrounding township, inquiring if somebody they knew would be interested in, maybe that they had a position open that somebody turned it down or somebody wasn't interested at the time, but none of them really had any thoughts or anybody they could, even for interim. There was no results. So it's going to be a tough one. I talked to the county clerk, and they're again, they're willing to help for this April's election, and hopefully we have enough poll workers that it works out smoothly, I guess, to say the least. But the county clerk is willing to help with that. So, and our deputy clerk from Pine River, she is currently doing the absentee ballots, which is helping. So I guess that's where that's at. So I'm hoping that, like I say, we get a good turnout for the annual meeting to put that up to the electors, but that's the reason why we want to separate that. Hopefully we'll limit the workload on one person. And go ahead.
Scott, what's the salary for that clerk treasurer?
It's
31?
it's a little bit more than that. I think it's about 36 approximately. And two, starting, I know I called Town of Bradley and got their numbers for the clerk separation and treasurer separation of the individuals. And I know we'd probably be paying a little bit more, but I think it'd be easier finding two people. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Go ahead.
Did you get any inquiries or calls of interest for your ad that you had for the dual position?
No,
Okay,
I shouldn't say that. No, we had one.
okay. I was just curious if.
Yeah, but there again, it's not something that I don't think the township can keep up with, basically the size of the township with one person. It's an awful lot. I mean,
Well,
we're
Katie,
trying to keep things together here, to the point of answering phones, answering emails, taking care of business, but it's tough. I mean, there's a lot going on.
that's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work.
Katie did an awesome job just from my observation.
And to it, and just to commend her,
So,
her efforts and her loyalty to the township. Everybody should thank her because she did a great job and really missed. But there again, she's moving on and the township as well has to move on. So kind of that's where we stand with that. And,
okay, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
You, know anybody with any interest?
Wish I did.
I think Kay said roughly 12, 14 hours on each position a week. So
But more than that,
more.
yeah.
Well, yeah, she said that
Yeah.
the clerk one, except when it comes to the,
Because the
like,
clerk would be charged of keeping the office hours. Monday, 9 to 5, Tuesday, 9 to 1, Thursday, 1 to 9, or 1 to 5, excuse me. But also there's a lot of behind the scenes too.
when it comes
Elections,
with the elections, and then the clerk is doing a lot more hours.
yeah, the hall rentals, I mean, taking phone calls, it's a
Right.
lot. It really is.
And I do think between the clerk and the treasurer, if they work things out, the treasurer could step in one day here a week.
Right, and that's the thing, they can help one another.
They
So
can-
it's-
They gotta feel it out.
Go ahead, Mark.
As far as the clerk position, who would train them for running? I know there's a lot to running those elections. Where would they get their training and how much practical experience are you looking for in a clerk?
Well, the clerk position is obviously, in charge of the, taking care of the office and rentals and doing the elections, but a lot of that goes with a lot of extra paperwork, keeping the chairman, up to date on things to a point and doing, keeping the agenda, this type of thing. And there is training through the Wisconsin Town Association. They do have training seminars. And Kay did offer some help if needed at some point, but not a lot.
If
It works out.
you know somebody who's really interested or whatever, Kate told me we could give her their number and they could call her and ask questions
And she did offer to train,
as much as she.
as much as she could for timing, but obviously her time, we'd be paying Kay for training her, this individual. But Kay has a wealth of knowledge and a lot of knowledge about town business. I mean, it's a lot, government entity is a lot different than private business. There's a lot of loopholes you gotta run through and a lot of, protocol. And it takes, like I say, it would take a new clerk at least 6 months, I would say, to get in the groove.
To get halfway comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, with everything the way it has to be run.
And a lot of times the clerk, correct me if I'm wrong, like Kay, you call Chris Marlowe. If she has any questions, she calls Chris
Right.
Marlowe.
Yeah,
You do have people you can call. I mean, it's nice to know if you know somebody from another
well, even
township.
other townships, there's a lot of help there.
You got the Towns Association, you got other townships you can call, you have Chris Marlowe you could call.
Yeah. And they do have the training seminars that Kate had gone through quite a few of them and which helped her immensely.
So, I know it's going to be approved by the electors, but what's the board thinking as far as, pay for each of those positions?
Well, starting out pay for a clerk average is anywhere from 22 to 24,000 a year.
For the clerk,
The clerk, just the clerk.
So that's a salaried position?
That'd be a salary
On
position.
clock?
Yes.
Okay.
And we would leave our treasurer, he's on an hourly basis at 20 an hour. And he would be in, generally, once he gets in the groove of things, he's still in training. I would assume for his duties anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a week, he should be able to sustain the treasury report and all the checks and payroll. To go with that. Is that?
Is there a town residency requirement?
No,
No,
Okay.
because it's an appointed position, Kathy.
Thank
So there's no town residency. They could be from Tomahawk, Wausau, it wouldn't matter where they're from.
Sure, thank you.
Is there a statutory reason or anything that needs to be salaried, or can that also be an hourly position?
Well, the clerk, no, I don't believe it's a law that's gotta be a salary, but on that position, it might be a better fit for the township, being this more hours.
I would understand that. I'm just thinking as far as recruitment is concerned,
Right.
it's tough to recruit a salary position over an hourly position.
They would have it,
I totally understand.
They would have-
And there's a zillion hours in it.
well, they'd have more hours, and yet we'd be compensated for the average, so to say, of what we would be thinking. That's what the other townships, that's the numbers that I got from other townships. And they've been happy with them numbers, so that's kind of what I'm basing that on.
Our general neighborhood, are these combined or separated positions? And
Bigger townships, Town of Bradley is, they're separate.
I think.
Pine River's separate, but they're elected. Once elected, I shouldn't say that. Town of Bradley, the clerk is appointed, the treasurer is elected.
Okay.
So, but at this point, we can kind of, how do you say it, pick and choose with appointed and hopefully get a qualified individual that's gonna take on that chore. So. And as long as we're on that clerk treasurer's position, agenda, I'd like to add to that is that, that our current treasurer, interim treasurer, needs to be a check signer. So,
That's on the agenda as number 6. I just didn't print out the new one for you.
okay,
Sorry.
oh. Okay. All right.
So if I understand it, both of them are going to continue to be a hired position and not
Correct.
a.
That point, yes, that's, I think, the township's best interest, Kathy.
Okay, I was just curious.
Is that gonna get put on the ballot? No?
We're gonna vote, we can vote in-house on that elector meeting coming up in April on this.
Okay.
So we're gonna actually, this is just informing the electors basically of question and answer if they had any thoughts or concerns, or before we came to that vote, basically, if anybody had any questions on it before we get to that point. Yes, big thing. Anything else from the board? Add to that? Not, we'll move on. Is there any other questions regarding that before we leave that? Okay. Next is discuss approve having a regular board meeting before or after the annual meeting on April 18th, 2023. We're combining the annual meeting with the regular board meeting. We'd like to, just saves on the cost of everything, so I don't know what we have done in the past. We've had the annual meeting beforehand and then the regular board after.
No, I think we always had it on Wednesday night.
Right, but I mean, in
We
terms
did
of,
on the same night, but I
Same.
don't remember if it was before or after.
Oh,
Last year, the elector meeting was.
that's what I thought.
And you know, the 18th is a Tuesday, correct?
Yes. Yep, it's always the third Tuesday. Yes. Yep. So I guess I need a motion where we have the elector meeting before the annual, or before the board.
I'll make a motion to have the annual meeting before the regular board meeting on February 18th, April 18th.
Let's look at that.
All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is discuss approve the renewal of the bond renewal to 2023 to 2025 for the town of Merrill. You've got the papers in front of you describing it. And you always had it, I guess. It covers the township for the blanket.
Do we wanna,
We just need to approve that so we can get that check sent out. We do that.
We got a motion to wait, maybe before that.
No,
the annual before?
the board of directors. We should set a time with that. It's probably 6 p.m.
Yeah, 6.
All in favor of that? Aye.
Aye.
Any pause? Motion carries, so it'd be at 6. The regular board meeting to immediately follow.
I suck as a secretary.
6. April 18th. We'll give you time, Mike. We're not gonna go.
No, I'm fine. All right.
So let's finish that up. Sorry, to rush you, Mike. Okay. We'll go to number 4 and over again is the bond renewal for the town of Merrill. Got the papers, Mike, do you read through it?
Yep.
Any questions on that? Pretty cut and dried. Where is it? It should be there. You didn't get this? Yeah, there's a back page. Just going to, it's about. Yeah, you had mine.
Which one?
No, you didn't pull it up yet.
What is this exactly for?
For CD that we have. Yeah, just to renew that.
No, this is new and renewed.
Or for the-
This is for, it's like, it's an insurance coverage. In case the township is
Oh, yeah.
for, blanket bond positions. this for, as employees are covered, basically it's for performance bond, for slander, that type of thing, if there's a lawsuit
Okay.
brought against the township.
Yep.
Basically, is what it'd be about. And that's something that townships had for years, just a good thing to have, I think.
So we're not,
I need a motion to approve so we renew that,
you know what?
yes.
Make a motion to approve 2023 to 2025 bond renewal.
I'll second.
All in favor of that motion? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on new business is the Era Schmudlock, changes zoning for campground with a variance for porta potty. Is she here this evening? She is not.
Where's this located?
Over on Ackerman Lake. She had called and talked to me about it, and they want to set up like a mini campground on their property. And they need a variance to have some of these porta potties evidently put on. They're not doing anything with the lake or the shoreland. She made that clear, because I said, if anything's done with the shoreland, that's what DNR. And she said, no, that's just for the porta potties that they want to put there for this rustic campground around Ackerman Lake. They have quite a bit of lake there. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the old Nelson property at that end, but they own quite a vast property.
A cabin right at the end there.
It's way at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what that's about. I guess they need a motion to,
Make a motion to approve the zoning change for porta potties.
I'll second.
all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'm gonna give agenda item number 6.
Number 6 is to,
Hire, approve to hire him as deputy and to be a check signer. Yeah, deputy clerk treasurer and to be a check signer, just for the bank.
well, that, and it's not actually a deputy at this point, Color. It's almost intern type of thing until we get this finalized, till we can separate out the two.
Okay.
So that's how it's gotta be for now. He's fine with that. But also, obviously I'll take K off that list then and just have him put on.
Okay.
And leave, the deputy, Amanda on there. As a deputy, she was still a deputy.
Okay.
So. I need a motion to approve that.
Hang on. Well, I can always write that later. Go ahead.
Do you know how to say his last name?
Blender?
Okay.
Whoa. I need spelling.
SCHLENDR.
SCHLEN.
ER. DER. Okay, you got it.
I'll make a motion to hire Chris Schlender as an intern, right?
Correct.
And to be a check signer for the town of Farrell.
I'll second that.
And are we gonna leave K on that list or do you want?
Oh, yeah, and to remove Kay Tellegis from the check signer list.
Prove effort.
Now. Bring the motion to accept what about property.
Um. Big property. No.
Okay. I spell acronym.
ACKER. You get her.
Oh, I have that on there.
You got it. He seconded the motion. Tim did.
Tim accepted it or seconded it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it for you. Thank you.
Was there a second on that one?
From the treasurer? Yeah.
You can second that as well, yeah. Okay, as long as it's noted.
Yeah, I got it.
Then you approve that.
Yeah, I got it on here.
Okay.
Did we take a vote yet?
Oh. All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
Is that good, Mike?
But I need the agenda item itself.
Agenda item number 6.
Do you have your?
Oh, I don't have. it. I only
Okay,
got up to five.
I can print it out.
Yeah, you just put that on.
Oh, do you have? it?
No, I have the old one.
Oh,
That's why. Yeah, Tim, did you get the new one?
I had to revise it
Okay.
after I nailed everything out.
Okay, all right, okay. All right. Next on the agenda is correspondence. I don't have nothing. I don't know if any of the board members have any correspondence for anybody that you want to talk about.
Well, we were back on, getting back, we gotta, start looking forward. I know we had road maintenance, but we gotta get our road list made up. If we wanna do some crack filling and what, we gotta get going on that. I know,
Oh, you mean,
patching.
well, not that so much as.
well, we got a
looking at-
million potholes.
Well, yeah, Tim, and not only that,
That's,
and to
crazy out there.
the,
Mother Nature.
the season hasn't been our friend this year, but, the county has plenty of winter mix basically for the pothole patching. So when this weather breaks,
Let's see.
that's gonna happen. But as far as the road inspections coming up, you really can't do that until the snow and ice leaves. And seeing there's culverts that I noticed that are getting bad. There's a culvert on, Lake Casabic Road. That's getting a bad dip to it, so there's a reason there.
I noticed one on Spring Lake is really rough.
Yeah, so them are gonna have to be addressed during the road inspections coming up probably in mid to late April. Anything else? Public comment, or not public comment, correspondence, excuse me. Then we'll move on to public comment. Is there any public comment?
Just got one quick question.
Go ahead.
You know what the town paid for lawn mowing last year?
Per. You got me on that one, Mark. I think it was under $100.
But I mean, total, you don't know what the total was.
It was once a week
Okay.
on average. They did it like probably on a Wednesday. They tried to have it done before the weekend because a lot of times if the hall was rented, they wanted it done on before a Thursday. Because a lot of times people are setting up for parties. So it was always done on a Thursday, generally speaking, or Wednesday at times if weather wasn't permitting.
It was probably under 2,000.
I would say, yeah, because I knew the other higher bid was 125. That
Wasn't it like 75 or 80 bucks? I thought
it was 100 or less.
it was reasonable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, go ahead, Kathy.
I was just wondering, going back to the, Prairie Road and Airport Road, did you discuss Prairie Road or did I miss it? On the number 3 in the old business.
We never really discussed it, Kathy,
Right.
because
I just didn't know if I missed.
legitimate question. We just, it's one of them roads that are on the, probably, a list to get done because we have money coming from it for it. But whether it happens or not this year, we don't have to necessarily do it depending on how airport turns out, I guess, and what we have left of the COVID money in our budget.
Okay. Just curious. And the other thing, I hope that the, township sends Kay a letter of appreciation and thanks for her service, something,
Idea.
Thank you.
the letterhead or something, just,
Yeah.
because I think that's a general feeling, at least for people that have been at meetings. I know,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, and you did express that she was very valuable, but it's always nice to have something in writing, a thank you, maybe the chair and the board could just sign it, or something like that, a letter of appreciation. Even though I know she was employed, just like many employees, they go above and beyond.
Yeah. And a lot of times they don't get recognized for what they do.
Exactly.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Has there been any talk with them guys that wanted to purchase the land for the storage units or anything?
Nothing came back on that. Yeah, I think it was probably more than they wanted to pay. And they got the report. I sent them through, Starzinski did the assessment on that property for lowland. And they're concerned with some lowland there possibly. So for the money they had to put into it, they didn't feel it was worth that $8,000 an acre, which I agree with. Any other public comment? Now I need, is there something else? No, okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor of that motion?
All right.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.